Okay, this is going to be an addendum to the last video because this just dawned on me. Because I was trying to figure out, how can we prove that when the first temple was destroyed, that was when the sacrifice was cut off. The Ark of the Covenant disappeared when the first temple was destroyed, and in order for them to fulfill the sacrifices, they had to sprinkle the blood on the mercy seat. That was the very last act of the high priest. Well, with no ark, you can't do that, so the sacrifice is null and void. The ark has to be there for that. And this is just a random website I picked. It's Zola Levitt Ministries. Introduction: the Ark of the Covenant disappeared off the pages of history by the time of the Babylonian captivity. That would have been the first one after the first temple was destroyed. Nothing in the Bible is said about the Ark in the Old Testament after the return from Babylon, but the Apocrypha states that the Ark could not be found when the Jewish people rebuilt the temple at the time of Ezra and Zechariah. That was Zerubbabel's temple. The explanation in the Apocrypha was that Jeremiah hid the Ark in a cave in Mount Nebo before the Babylonian invasion, and that its location would not be revealed until God was ready for it to be found. There was no Ark in the Second Temple. Thus, the Holy of Holies in the Second Temple was an empty chamber, without the Ark of the Covenant. When the Roman general Pompey conquered Jerusalem around 63 BC, he demanded the privilege of entering the Holy of Holies. When he did, he came out saying that he could not understand what all the interest was about the sanctuary when it was only an empty room. The fact that the Ark of the Covenant was not used in the Second Temple has led to the speculation of where the Ark is, or if it still exists on the earth. The Ark was so important in Israel from the time of Moses through the Judges and the First Temple era that it seems remarkable that nothing is said of it in the Bible after the Babylonian captivity until the letter to the Hebrews of the book of Revelation in the New Testament. In Hebrews, it is described as it was in the original tabernacle made by Moses, and in Revelation, the Ark is seen by John in heaven. In neither case is the Ark mentioned as something that remains on the earth now. If the Ark is gone, they can't finish the sacrifice because the final step was the sprinkling on the mercy seat after the blood was mingled. That had to happen, and then when that was done, everything was finished. If they had no ark, that means the sacrifice was cut off in 70 AD. Or not 70 AD, the first temple. We can count forward from there, and the math fits 2021. And we know now Jeremiah did hide the ark. We have the other documents that prove that. Jeremiah did hide it. He hid it away, and nobody's been able to find it until Ron Wyatt made the discoveries that he made, which people still denounce, but I've seen the pictures of it in the cave. That was it. And in Israel now, who was it? Wasn't Thomas Horn? It was Billy Crone, and on Prophecy Watchers was talking today that the Israeli authorities are saying, yes, we know where it is, and when the time's right, we're going to go get it. They're waiting until the temple is built, and then they're going to get it. They know where it is. They haven't had it since the first temple was destroyed. So if that's the case, we see in Daniel 12 a perfect description of when the first temple was destroyed, sacrifice cutting off. Jump forward 1290 years, halfway mark, years, and halfway mark you have the rise of Islam, which is Satan worship, abomination of desolation. Jump forward again another 1260 years, you have 1946 when Israel went back into the land. Then jump forward again to that 1300. Blessed is he who makes it to 1335 days. That is 2021. Again, another pointer aiming right at 2021 as the year of the rapture. Again, a confirmation that this is our year. Now, again, I can't say I'm right because I don't know. I see in a mirror darkly like everybody else does. But how amazing that it's that specific. How amazing that these events came together this way to serve God's purpose. It definitely inspires more study. It definitely is worth more looking into it. And it is definitely an encouragement because if that's the case, if we're seeing that specific of a timeline being described and the referencing fits according to how the Bible is laid out, because we see the same thing happening in other parts of the Bible, we're seeing the timeline being explained as to when everything is going to come to a screeching halt and the age of grace will be over. Because after the sacrifices were done, it was God's grace all the way through. They weren't able to give atonement for sin. It had to be God's grace. And then when Jesus came, it was the church age. Makes sense. It all fits together. It's too perfect. And of course we know that's God. He's too perfect. So Again, we see more confirmation of this. I definitely want to build on this later in another video when I'm not quite so jacked up and I can focus more. So we can dig a little deeper into this and look at more facts. But like I said, the comments will be open in the previous video and this one, the addendum. Tell me what you think. Email me. Tell me if you have information. Email me. Tell me what you found, what you discovered. Tell me what it looks like to you, because I definitely didn't catch all the facts in this video, and I will definitely do another video later on this so we can dig deeper into it, because this is amazing. This is amazing. See you in the next one.